All right, what's up? What's up? We're gonna be recapping the UFC Fight Club 27 card because took down the post fight show because
I accidentally butchered that. I poorly edited it, and when I posted it and finally realized it, I was like, yeah, no, I can't keep this up.
we're gonna be recapping that card, talking about the 2022 reward and talk about what's upcoming. But yeah,
So where would you like to start?
I mean, bottom to the top of the card, I guess. Prelims to main card.
Okay, so the first fight we had Dom versus Miami. Now, that was one heck of a card to start off. One heck of a fight to start off the card.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
If you wanted a war and a technical a technical battle, you got a little bit of both in
Got
that
one.
fight.
Yeah.
They were
First round started off Dom keep kicking him, you keeping his range,
utilizing the front
getting some
kicks. It was
knockdowns.
great.
Yeah, it was looking like a really good round for Dom, and it was winning the fight pretty convincingly. But then Miami found some knees against the cage and knocked him down a couple times
He
to
definitely
make it a
utilized the body shots.
yeah to make it a tough fight for Dom. And they were 1-1 going in that final round, and Miami knocked him down at the beginning of it, but Dom just found the submission.
It was definitely a good
Miami,
fight.
that's his second consecutive submission loss. I think we know his weakness by now, but if he patches those things up, he can be a real problem in here. But for Dom, he got a good performance, good win. It was a very good fight to start your debut off, that's for sure.
Now let's move on to the next fight, and also
Yeah,
performance of the night. Budfly versus Tiger ended in a round 1 knockout. Now
I did not expect him to come in there like that
I trained Budfly on
on the
our
Ultimate
version
Fighter
of the
Season
Ultimate
1.
Fighter,
Yeah,
and the one thing I noticed was he was very aggressive, and he didn't know when to put his foot on the gas pedal and when to take it off.
but it worked on his favor.
It worked out in his
So,
favor in this fight because Tiger didn't know how to deal with that level of
that
pressure.
pressure.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
Tiger's more of a walk forward himself type of fighter. He's not very often he gets the pressure put on him.
pressured back, yeah.
So when he had to deal with the opposite level of aggression, he did not know what to do. He ended up being pushed up against the cage, and with nowhere to really run away from there, he was able to tee off and finish him early.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, a lot of people can't handle pressure. You know, they're usually trying to fight at their own pace. But for Butterfly, you know, it was his night, and he had a wonderful performance. He's going to be. Can't wait to see
Definitely
him back
didn't
in
give
there.
him time to did not let Tiger get time to warm up, that's for sure.
Quickest fight of the night, that's for sure. Round one. And Butterfly really didn't get hit back that fight. Nothing really in return from Tiger. Very just clean performance from Butterfly.
Okay, we go to our next
Yeah.
fight. We got Savvy versus Champagne.
Yeah. It was a very dominant performance from Swavey.
He needed it.
It's also the most fight on our channel. I mean,
Yeah, it's currently the
I,
most watched fight, and we know why. It was such a great performance.
I mean, I think there was a little bit better fights in the card, but I mean, no, it was a good fight. There was a very close moment where Champagne pulled off a submission that almost ruined his momentum in that fight.
Hey, he did
You know?
good. They both did amazing. It was a close submission. He could have gotten it
Yeah.
if he would have just focused up, maybe for the last second. But he got too excited. I think he's seen victory too much in sight, and then he got a little too aggressive with his triggers. Very close. But again, how many times has he been in that situation?
You know
How
when
many
you see the
times has
light at the
he?
end of the tunnel, and then the light just disappears?
Yeah,
That's kind of how that went.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's how many times has he been in that level of, like, he's down, he needs the win. That's his moment. You know what I mean? It's
But
how many
Slavy knew
times
he had to get out of that.
how many times have we seen it where they get put in that situation and they freeze. They're like, okay, this is my one
Yep.
chance. I'm losing the whole fight. If I get this, it's over. I win the whole. That doesn't. But a lot of the time, they crack under that pressure.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a lot of losing situations. How does that work for you?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Or in like a big losing fight where, and then you pull off a submission. You're in that situation a lot. How do you do? How do you do it?
Well, the last time I was in that situation was when I fought Tavo, who was undefeated coming into the league, and that first round, I don't think we looked at the score, but I don't think we needed to look at the score. It was a clear 10-8 round. He dominated me. It was
He knocked you
absolutely
down like 4 times,
atrocious. I got beaten.
but you just came back to pull off a submission. That's
But I was
crazy.
able to get him into that one spot I needed to get him in. It was probably the only chance I had the entire fight. If I didn't get it, I'd probably have lost. But I've been there before, and you kind of just let it happen. If it happens, it happens. If you lose, there's another opponent next like card. You know what I mean? And to get yourself back up.
So you wasn't nervous at all doing that. You wasn't
When I'm
decided
in
to.
those situations, I try not to let it get the best of me, because then you do start panicking and you start making irrational jump decisions. I guess when a submission, you don't want to be like sporadic. As soon as you start going to like frantic, it's harder to secure the submission because your bar goes smaller. And that's where you see a lot of people make their mistakes, because they start getting excited. They're like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So they start like trying to predict where they're going, and they start like pre-planning. Unless you're 100% sure what's happening, you shouldn't be moving fast. You should try to be moving at the pace they're moving at, or slower, because they're
Well,
gonna be sporadic escaping.
well, once we got out of that, he continued one-sided beatdown and got his win by third round
Exactly.
knockout.
He held on. He
Yeah,
got out, got up, and just showed everybody why he was winning the rest of the fight. He did not let that go to decision. He finished it in the 3 minutes and 32 seconds, so like 2 minutes left in the fight.
and on to our next fight, bro. Surgical and Aiden. That was a fight.
And another
Back and
submission.
forth. Yeah. Oh yeah, another submission. But at the end of the day, it was a very close fight. It could have went either way if it went to decision. But
Aiden looked really good in that fight. He looked like he knew what he was. He looked comfortable. It looked like the level of
Allergical was tagging him on the
competition.
feet there.
It looked like the level of competition wasn't shaking him.
Yep. But at the end of the day, Allergical took him down at low stamina and got caught into a Kimura. No, bad timing.
Oh, bad timing, exactly. You want to be aware of your stamina when you're shooting for crazy takedowns, or know if you're fighting somebody who has something like that in their back pocket. And with the skill level on Aiden, he definitely had it in his back pocket.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how skilled that fight was. I mean, undefeated prospects, someone know had to go, and it was Allergicals. You know?
And in a great fight, too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's in that argument of fight of the night. But at the end of the day, the next fight after that got fight of the night.
Yeah, at the end of the day, and speaking of fight of the night, the next fight, Jay versus Warmonger, which was fight of the night, and holy cow, was this a fight?
Yep.
Was this a fight? Like, oof. It finishes in third round knockout, a minute and 38 seconds into the third round. Jay defeats Warmonger in one of the craziest 3 rounds. Like,
Never
there's a
have a
5 round
war.
fight. We knew we weren't going 5 rounds.
But still, you can never have a war without Warmonger. It's in the name, and Warmonger's always going to bring a war. And yeah,
Hey, he lost that fight, but he could have very easily have walked home with that win. They were.
if this was 6 months ago, right? For war, right?
Mhm.
Probably would have been a decent sized favorite, but Jay, he'd been improving 6 months while War was out on deployment in the military, and I just think Jay got better throughout those 6 months and better than him throughout. And still a close fight, but Jay pulled it off.
And again, in Fight of the Night performance, it was absolutely amazing. They
Yeah.
both easily could have gotten their hand raised, but it all came down to that one last strike. A great fight.
Yeah, bro. This was a true veteran matchup. They both have 50 fights in here. Yeah, I mean, they meet again in one day. I don't know, but you know, hey, he's number 12 in the rankings. He's on his way there. You know,
He's
he
making his way
couple
up
more
to.
fights, could get a title shot. Who knows?
Yeah, he's definitely on his way. He can definitely get that anytime. I think if he just gets a couple good fights in, gets a couple more good opponents, and I think he's definitely at that level where he can start asking for a little bit more
Yep.
of tougher challenges, especially after fighting somebody like War.
I tell you, man, he called you out though
Yeah, he did. He did. He wants to
for
run
a
it back.
rematch.
If he said, but he said he wants to get a couple more wins under his belt.
Yeah,
So
but I'm saying, yeah.
I will. I'll grace my presence with him if he can stack up one or two more wins. I'll grace him with my presence.
All
I'll
right,
let him. I'll
but
let him get his rematch. I know he that was back when we were running the best of 5, and he's the
it was a close one.
only person to submit me, and he wants to prove he can do it on our competition. So I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun rematch.
All right, and after that, bro, the main event, bro.
Justin versus Mansa. Now, before we
Justin
go too
retains his
far
title.
into it, let's just whoever's here has probably seen the fight. Let's just get to the elephant in the room. He came preloaded with excuses, and I think it was very sportsmanlike. I think it was a poor example of what happens when you lose at the top, when he could easily just try to make his way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he left the chat, but I mean,
He's
he
back.
changed his mind real quick. He's back.
Like he changed his mind real quick. He's back, but it's just kind of poor showmanship, I think.
With the new matchup.
And with a new matchup, exactly, and a good matchup. So
We'll
I
talk
think,
about it in a second, but
yeah, we'll talk
yeah,
about that matchup in a second. But as of that, it was a great fight by Justin. He finished him in the second
yeah,
round. It looked grim within the first like few seconds, but I said it before and I'll say it again. Justin's like Piotr Jan, man. That first round is all analysis. He'll take that first round. He's gonna dissect you. Doesn't matter how it goes. He's gonna learn. And then adapt. And then once he adapts, it's over. He's locked. And if you let him push after he's figured it out, then you got to keep adjusting. When he's adjusting, you got to adjust. Because if not, then he's gonna swarm you and do exactly what he did and put his lights out.
yeah, bro.
In a performance of the
Justin, I
night.
don't know who can beat him, but matchups we're about to be talking about, we got some potential title elimination bouts, you know.
Yep,
Get to
exactly.
those.
So we'll
But
definitely see him defend his title in some tough competition soon.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And I'm
Justin's
honestly saying within
still
the next,
undisputed.
if he defends his title one or two more times, it's going to be hard to ignore the conversation that he just very well might be the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Could be right now.
Like he already could be, exactly. But it's like there's people who are still
Maybe just
saying
put
maybe
more of a stamp
not.
on it.
There's some maybe still
Balled
some
out.
holes. I just
Maybe just one or two more title defenses just clarifies it. It's not even like maybe it could be now, but it's just removes all doubt. Like
exactly
there's nobody ifs, ors, or about it. You know.
exactly. It's to give it that there's no more conversation once you get to that point, I feel.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to be, oh, maybe one day I'll be a champion like him. Yeah, well, you gotta take the belt off him first. Someone's gotta take the belt off him first. I don't see that happening very soon.
But this Fight Club is getting bigger and bigger every day. There could be a
Exactly, bigger
hidden
and
gem in
better,
the
bigger
roster,
and
you
better.
know. But yeah, um, like I said, um, we can see who rises up these ranks in the future on some of these upcoming matchups. If you want to talk about them now, you know.
Um, we'll talk about
So
those in
yeah,
a
that's pretty
minute.
much the card.
We'll talk about
Justin got
those
a
in just a
performance, so we
minute.
might
I
as
feel
well
like
though.
we should go over rankings so that they're on here too. We're only going to go over the top 15, as the top 15 are the only ones like who are really in big contention. So right now we have Big JJ, who's ranked 15, 3-5. In rank 14, we have Warmonger, who's 25, 29-1. At rank 13, we have Aiden, who's 3-0. At rank 12, we have Jay, who's 23, 25, and 1 no contest. At rank 11, we have Creator, who's 2-2. At rank 10, we have Rain Kid at 6-5. In rank 9, we have Tavo, who's 6-1. In rank 8, we have Dao, who's 5-5. Rank 7, we have Hypno, who's 4-3. Rank 6, we have David, who's 5-4. Rank 5, we have Tayman, 9-7.
It's you.
That's me. At rank 4, we have Mansa, 4-2. At rank 3, we have Temp, aka Gimme, 4-1. Number 2, we have JB, 21, 9, 1 no contest. Number 1 contender is Young, 8-1 with 1 no contest, and our champion is Justin, who's 10-1.
That record is crazy on Justin.
That's a championship record. That's a championship record.
Well, yeah, bro. But yeah, speaking of rankings and records, we'll see who rises up on them.
Exactly.
Upcoming matchups. We have a big year incoming. Start of
Yes, sir.
January. I mean, we can start mentioning that now. Kick off the year, January 8th. Is going to be a big time matchup. Possibly a title eliminator. Definitely if Gimme can get past Chaos, which Chaos claims to have beaten all these guys. Actually, I don't even know if it's claims anymore, because I mean, he actually has beaten some of these guys in here, but I don't know about everybody, but some of these guys definitely. Yeah, he has a couple wins on Justin champion in online championships, but it only matters if you beat a Fight Club. That's his belt. That's where it's on the line.
Exactly.
Not just some division points on the line. That's where it is.
Well, I'm definitely gonna be testing his grappling prowess in a couple weeks, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, and also he has a matchup with you. We'll get to that, but yeah, Gimme and Chaos. Gimme one away from probably getting that title shot. Chaos is here
if Gimme gets this dub, it's hard to ignore his title shot.
Chaos is here to prove a point. Like, he's here to be champion too. Like, but the difference is he's trying to back up a lot, as he said. Like, he has a lot of pressure on him, but it doesn't bother him one bit. We're about to see. That's what's going to be headlined. And the co-main event on that card is crazy too. Dao versus Zooted.
Yeah, that's going to be a good fight. Dao wants to get himself back in the winning column because there's someone he wants to fight.
Yeah.
And
but it's not going to be no easy task. Zooted is a former ESL player. He is.
He's for real.
Vegas event.
Zooted's for real. You know what I mean? So Dao's got a big challenge ahead of him. If he wants to get that win in his another win in the win column, he's definitely gonna need to put in some work in this fight. I think.
And then like, just because you've been in the ESL doesn't mean you're exactly good. But this dude's Zooted. He will know his skills. Like, not everybody in the ESL is like the top level in the world. But Zooted can still call himself a professional gamer.
Yeah.
He has that title.
He does have a title. The title of professional. He is a pro at this. So if our guys are gonna want to go out and prove that they can beat him, and Dao gets the first chance. You know what I mean? And it's a tough shot.
Yeah. A ranked opponent in his debut, but also Dao is like, I mean, what could he do? He's on a bit of a skid right now, on a bit of a losing skid. So, I mean, he is looking to get back in the win column. We'll see. That's going to be a fun fight.
100%.
But yeah, the featured fight of that card, I mean, I'm not going to go over the full card, but I'm just naming some of the main matchups on that card, The top 10 matchup, Pavo versus Rain. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah, about that.
I
Good one.
think Tavo's gonna go out there and show that again that his hands are absolutely fucking dangerous. But a lot of people forget that Rain's got a pretty solid ground game. I did help work on it with him.
Yeah, bro.
Again, it's just we've seen Tavo's weaknesses if he gets him on the back, if he gets put on his back. But he's good at not getting put on his back. I tried for a whole round. I couldn't get him. I only got him luckily out of the second round, and then when I got him down, I just did what I had to do. If Rain could do the same, he just has to follow the blueprint.
But yeah, like people might just look at their records and also look at their last performance, say like, "Oh, Tavo's gonna win," but don't count out Rain, kid. This is a close fight. Well, it could be a close fight. Guess we have to see on fight day. But Rain had been pulling upsets left and right. Almost every fight he's an underdog and he wins it.
Exactly. He's used to being in the limelight, so I think he's got a good chance of taking home the victory.
Yeah, it's like I don't doubt he'll be underdog this fight, but you never know, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think we should
Pablo
move
is a
on to our
prospect.
yearly awards.
Well, I mean, I want to go through more of the upcoming matchups in January, but
how many more matchups do we have in January?
Well, yeah, those are the fights, the headline on that.
Oh, those are the ones that are headlining the sixth card. Oh God, hell yeah.
What? No, the January 8th card. Yeah, what's it called? But yeah, those are the main fights to point out. But I mean, the full card will be announced soon. But yeah, but the card after that, right? Young versus Mansa.
Yes.
Thursday, January 19th.
It's literally like the Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme. It's a complete mirror match.
No, you're the imposter.
Exactly. I think we're gonna see a lot of elbows and knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they just both knock each other out with a flying knee?
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
They might be throwing the same things at each other at the same time. You never know, but they do play similar. No. Yeah.
Very similar.
They have similar skill sets. And they both use the same characters.
They're both known for being sore losers.
Nah, chill. I mean, at the end of the day, they both didn't quit the Fight Club entirely, but they did act the same way with
losing to Justin.
In terms of
they both lost to Justin. They both left.
You know how similar they are. You know, they actually don't like each other.
Yeah, it makes sense. Usually, you don't like
somebody how much they have in common. Maybe that's just how much they have in common in fighting, but
I can't.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
I can't wait to see how the fight plays out.
Yeah, either way, there's some heat there. They play very similar. It's gonna be a fun fight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and the full card on that one will be announced soon enough too. And the final event of January. Last day of that month, January 30th, Monday. Raider versus Baldhead. Now, who's going to talk about heat and rivalry?
That's some heat.
And people who don't like each other, there we go.
They don't like each other at all.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted to see this one. And it's going to be who backs up what, you know?
Exactly. It's going to be one fucking hell of a fight.
They both believe each other's trash.
Hey, you know what they say, though? Fight with this much tension makes for a great show.
Yeah. 100%. And as a main event, arguably you can say they don't maybe deserve that spot because of their rankings, but I mean, as much as he is going to go into this, I think it doesn't matter, bro.
I think it's a good
spotlight.
Fight.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
be
watch
a fun card.
I can't wait.
sucks at the end of the year, but I mean not at the end of the year, end of the month. But
At
I
the end of
mean,
the month, but hey,
got a lot of other good cards before that.
exactly.
Oh yeah, and after that, Young and for another event we have in January, Submission Fight Club 3, grappling only, submission only. Um, and
Your
as we was
boy's
talking,
defending his belt.
Damon, Submission Fight Club champion,
Your boy's
against
defending his
Chaos.
belt against Chaos.
I mean, like we said, he claims a lot, bro. Um, says, hey man, your grappling's trash.
Right? My grappling's trash, but I only made it out of the first round once in our grappling fight club. And it was
Dang.
barely just out of the second round. I mean, just out of the first round.
I think you could say Jay got saved by the bell in that fight.
Exactly.
When you last defended against, yeah, you defended against Jay
I
and
think
Creator.
it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight. I got Creator in the first round, and he came at me with the record of having the 1,000 sub badge, and I don't have it yet because a lot of people like fucking quitting, and it's annoying. But
And
he
with
had
Jay,
the
he claimed, I mean, well, no, it's not claimed, but yeah, he submitted you in one of those fights in the first of 3 rules set we had.
Yep.
So why not have it in a submission match, you know?
Yeah, and I ended up proving that I was
No,
still there.
only one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I get to prove that this Chaos guy has a crazy grappling background apparently, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, he just says your grappling is trash. He doesn't have no grappling resume. You might
No,
after that fight, it might be called a grappling champion, but no, I think beating you in a grappling match is
it's
tougher
not
than
going to be
beating.
easy. Going literally right into my move set is just.
I think that's harder than taking Justin's belt. I mean, I don't know.
We'll see. I think it's going to be hilarious. We'll like he's
Hey, he
underestimated
has
my grappling
a
entirely. He's just shown up and really hasn't seen me do anything. He hasn't seen me grapple, and I'm trash.
he said, "Give me, I'll grapple you."
Not, eh, hard to say. It was more on the feet. He took me down.
Yep.
And that was it. Like and he got back up. So I mean, if he wants to say he out grappled me, I mean, okay.
But yeah, what's it called? Yeah, he has a lot of pressure on his shoulder. I mean, it doesn't bother him at all. He's still gonna do what he does. But yeah, he has to fight Gimme. He
And
has to
like I
fight
said,
you in a
he's doing
grappling
exactly
match.
what he needs to do.
He has a
He's
lot to
calling
prove.
on all the right people for all the right things. You know what I mean? Gimmy's the type of guy who won't turn down a fight, and if he knows that if he beats me in a submission grappling match, then it's gonna skyrocket him even more in terms of
Yeah,
notability.
100%. Yep.
He's definitely calling the
So
right
yeah.
shots. I'll give him that. I give him credit.
Well, yeah.
So moving past that, let's move on to our Fight of the Year awards.
Oh yeah.
Our UFC Fight
Announced them a
Club
couple days
22
ago.
awards. Do we want to start from the bottom and make our way up? Do Fighter of the Year last?
Fighter of the year. Start that.
No, I think we should do Fighter of the Year last.
No, I'm saying we start that first.
No, I think we should do it last.
Okay.
Build up the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
But yeah,
comeback of the year was Big JJ versus Creator.
hey, I don't think we can go wrong on that. I mean, what's it called? Big JJ was beating him up for 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Raider, he had a bit of an issue with his controller,
and just
but
saves himself.
but yeah, from the look of the fight, I mean, like controller being messed up or not, like well, not controller, it was grappling settings he had
He
wrong.
didn't have it on Legacy. He had it on Assisted.
Yeah.
It was on the base settings, and they're so dog water. The base grapple settings in this game were so bad. So he didn't have it switched to Legacy, and you could clearly see it in the fight. Like he's not moving the way he normally would, and
But yeah,
very
nonetheless, I mean, he was getting pounded for
for 2
2 rounds,
rounds.
bro.
And he gets back up
Yeah,
to his feet, just
and he
does
just
what he needs to do, and takes home the win.
yeah, he just knocks him out, knocks him down, and finishes him. Like none of that just happened.
Then we got Knockout of the Year.
There was a
Now,
lot of knockouts this year, but
there's a lot of knockouts this year, but it's hard not to get excited over a knockout that literally took 30 seconds with a
we
flying
screamed about
knee.
that. And that's what did give Mansell the title shot. His knockout over Hypno, 30 seconds, and hit him with a clean flying knee. How can you not just name that knockout of the year? I
Exactly.
mean,
It's
yes, there's
just
a lot of close candidates to that, but still, I mean, pretty
he
clean.
definitely gets a shot, got a shot on Justin over that, and that's why we couldn't help but give it knockout of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, what can be over that, you know?
Now we
Yeah,
move to fight of the year.
Young
Young
versus
versus David.
David. That was a back and forth war,
What
and it
an
was at the point you don't
amazing
know who
fight.
was gonna win.
Such a good fight.
Yeah, it was
There
that
wasn't a
fight
point
where
in that fight where you knew who was winning until it was over, and it was like, they both gave everything, and that was when Young was still the champion, if I'm correct.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, and he defended his title against David.
Yep, and then yeah, I mean yeah, he that was his first title defense, and then his second defense was Justin, which I mean most of us already know how that went, but still, yeah, it was a good fight. Young and David, that was definitely fight of the year, back and forth. You didn't know who proud of all. Yeah,
Then we take a look at fan favorite of the year, and by a landslide, ya boy.
the Submission Fight Club champion. Hey man, it's you.
And it's like that was all for jokes, but like for being honest, it kind of makes sense. Like if we're looking back at a lot of Fight Club
Hey,
like
who doesn't
attendance,
come to see a K-Man fight?
I'm gonna say a lot of people come to see a Tay Man fight. Like if we were able to show how many people were to hop into the party just as soon as my fights are coming on, like I bring attendance. It's hilarious. People
I
try to see me
think people
lose.
were sad when you lost to Gimme, bro. I mean, but also, I mean, some people don't like Gimme, but I mean, a lot of people like you, Damon. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're definitely his fan favorite of the year. I don't think.
we'll definitely see who gets it next year because I won't be fighting as much, and not many people are gonna want to see me anymore. But we'll see.
Imagine his chaos.
Oh my god. We'll see what he does. There's a chance. I mean, I don't think people really like him though.
That's all. No, I'm just saying. Imagine his chaos.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. That'd be
Hey, if there was
crazy.
a most hated of the year, which I don't think that you could give a reward for that, but I mean, most hated of the year, he hasn't even fought yet, so I don't know if you give it to
Yeah, I
him.
don't know if you
Maybe
can give it
Gimme
to him,
or
but you
between
could easily.
chaos.
I mean, you could arguably give it to him even though he hasn't fought yet, just simply because how
Yeah.
much heat. Okay, so then we move on to prospect of year, and
Hey,
well
Aiden.
deserved. Aiden, like that's
Oh
well
yeah,
deserved.
definitely. 3-0 in UFC. Um, 13 ranked. Aiden, like he got in the rankings after his last performance against Allergical. He was undefeated. He Baldhead, who was also undefeated, 1-0, 1-0, and beat a pretty good debuted in yeah, and Reggie. He hasn't fought since then, but still, yeah, good win.
So it's
The
definitely
Division 20. So been beating some high level guys, even
yeah.
though it's not notable guys, but high level guys.
So
That's
definitely
bad.
look out for him in the top 10, top 5 up and coming. Like he's definitely rising.
Call me crazy. I think he could beat some of the guys in the top 5 now.
Oh, 100%. I think he could stand with a lot of the guys in the top 5 right now.
Like he can definitely stand with um Dow, Tavo, Hypno, what's it called? David.
I think me and him would have a good fight. I think he'd have a good fight with
Yeah, y'all
fucking.
both have some submissions. We'll see. Yeah, it'd be a fun grappling match. I know that. I know he
I
likes to
think
take it
that
to the
fight would be
floor when he
fun.
can. Yeah,
Um, then we,
Mansa. Yeah,
yeah.
and with a lot of guys now. Yeah,
Now we look at our fighter of the year, and I don't think it's really much of a question.
right.
It's
Nah,
no, it's Justin. Definitely
it's just,
Justin
who
for
else?
fighter of the year.
Who else?
Most dominant
Who else?
champion.
He's been holding that belt for months. It's just he's been winning all year. He has, like I said, in just how much he done this year is crazy. He like just like well less than a year, he can already make a statement for he is the
Exactly.
GOAT.
I can't wait to see what he does next year. I can't wait to see how many more title defense he gets. I can't wait to see what the record looks like next year. If he can hold up and keep going, if the
Like I
competition
said, there
gets
is some
bigger.
interesting names that could challenge him next year. Zubid, Chaos, Gimme, maybe David if he can get some wins in the wins back, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, see where Justin title reign goes and see where some of these contenders rank up in the future. Yeah, coming in next year, bro.
and that's the that's just it. Next year is gonna be so big. We haven't even really scratched the surface. We've only really done 2 events. Everything is just gonna
And
continue growing and getting bigger, and we can't wait for everybody else to be there and witness as we expand.
I guess we'll be back at the Gimme and Chaos press conference, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what should be next. I think that's what will be next. The Gimme and Chaos press conference in about a
Then
week
the
or so.
pre-fight show, and then the fight night.
Yes, sir. Now
Hero.
I'm about to sound like a YouTube fucking like leech right now, but you know it's very true. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment on the bottom. All that helps us. And the more we get shared and spread around, the more content we can put out for you guys, and that's just what we want to do in the end, ultimately.
Yep. Well, yeah. I think that's the recap. I think that's all what's upcoming, and we get to go over the rewards. So yeah, I mean,
Thank you all for
enjoy
watching,
the
and
holidays, everyone, and yeah, I
Merry
think that's
Christmas,
that.
Happy Holidays.